Derrel Jazz Johnson here with Howard Beck from Bleacher Report. Howard, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, man.
What are your thoughts on the Knicks bringing in Phil Jackson to the organization?
Carmelo Anthony said it best, didn't he? It's a power move. Look, you don't make a move like this unless you are seriously going to change the direction of your franchise. You know, there's a lot of great GMs and team presidents out there, and of course, Phil Jackson's never done either role. But when you hire somebody of his stature, with his knowledge in the game, his success, and as powerful as a presence as he is, a guy who's a very strong identity and a set of ideas about how he likes to do things, you don't make that move as Jim Dolan, as the Garden, unless you are seriously prepared to turn over control to him. And that's what we just saw here today, was Phil Jackson saying, I wouldn't have come here without those assurances. Jim Dolan saying, I'm willingly and gratefully ceding authority at this point. And that is a power move, because it's basically recognizing that the only way forward, the only way to really have sustained success, is to have somebody in charge who can really galvanize the organization. And I think Phil Jackson maybe hasn't been a team president or a GM, but is he somebody who can galvanize people toward a mission and have great success? Yes, we know that.
What type of respect does Phil Jackson command in a room when he walks into a room with his 13 championship rings?
Well, it's not just the 13 championship rings, although that helps. I think Phil Jackson just has a certain presence about him. As a personality, as just a very thoughtful, intelligent person, as a leader of men, he walks into a room and he absolutely commands your attention. And if you have any doubts about that, I'm sure he could lay the rings on the table if he needed to. But I don't think that's not who he is, and I don't think that's what he needs to do. What's interesting is that at the coaching level, you can walk in and you do have a finite group of people in front of you, 12 to 15 players, support staff, assistant coaches, and you can say, guys, this is what we're trying to work toward. And you can talk about, he can make his references to some literature that he's fond of, and poetry, and there are all these things he'll bring to the room that try to give some vividness to the mission that he's laying out. He's done that in a locker room. Can he do that for an entire organization, and a pretty large and complex one at that, and a pretty political one in this case? That's the question.
Can he have an impact on the 2013-2014 Knicks, or is it too late for that?
The Knicks are pretty locked into next year's roster. I mean, if they could trade all these guys, I think they would do it tomorrow, or they would do it in July. But I don't think we're going to see any movement. I think that the guys that are locked in for one more year, Bargnani, Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler, J.R. Smith, Felton, all these guys, I don't think they're movable. They'll try. I have no doubt they'll try. They need to change this up, but they also don't want to endanger their cap room in 2015 and 16. We assume that Carmelo Anthony will re-sign. We don't know that for sure. But even if Carmelo Anthony walked, they have no cap room this summer. So the Knicks are very, very limited in how they could improve for the coming season. The real goal, I think, for this franchise and now for Phil Jackson is what can they do in free agency in 2015 when they will have room.
Real quick, let the people know out there where they can find your work.
You can find my work at bleacherreport.com. That's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Howard, for your time. Appreciate it.